doesn't have any reference in the background, whereas this buy has this buy trade reference in the background. It's easier to be long than it is to be short, isn't it? So it should be something that you recognize. It's easier to be long than it is to be short. And that opens the door to these brilliant ideas called squeeze trades. I mean, if you were very active in your short selling at the top edge, you know that this is a weak short, so you'd highlight this as a W top line. When the price turns short term here, you know that it's, even with value not going bullish, you know it's going to go through the top edge. You know value is going to go through the top edge in that sense, right? When you look at this top edge for the original sell, you can obviously go back to this structure here and say, well, what was the day session swing high and low that came from that sell? So there it was there. Does that trade make sense in terms of bracket structures? So there's your measured move there, isn't it? See it? You see how it's always just the structure, the last structure? You might be saying, how do you know it's that swing? Well, what swing's it going to be? You know what I mean? There isn't any other swing you can use. It is the current swing high of the day right there, isn't it? So that's the swing you're going to use, but what swing do I use for the low price then? Well, we know that as well, because if that's the swing high and then it breaks the structure there, yeah, well, we know what the swing low is. It's going to be the lowest point between those 2 points there and there, isn't it? The lowest point. The lowest point between that point there and that point there is this price here. That is going to be your main measured move. If that's your main measured move, is that your target price for that main measured move? Is it? Yes, it is. So when the value came into that as a short sell, it's also a measured move. I need to be short selling that, right? Because there's going to be buy side profit takers. I was one of them because we were long from over here. So we know that we are one of those profit takers into that top edge. As soon as it went bid at 600s, we started to close out our positions. And as we started to close out our positions, we were then aware of the fact that it's time to start thinking about whether the value's coming back in on the bid or not. So when I look at my components today and I'm trying to figure out what the components are doing, remember, we had the big NVIDIA yesterday. So what sector are they in? Semiconductors, tech stocks. We're looking at those types of sectors. We're trying to figure out whether there's any push through from those, because remember, this was post-market. So I want to try and figure out whether there's any push through from that. Well, this is what I'm using. So I can see that there is a good sell trade when that top line comes in, but obviously by the time this buckles, I'm hoping that I get a pullback. I don't know if I was going to get a pullback, but I was hoping I was going to get a pullback. We got a pullback here, and we got a brilliant buy trade all the way to target measure. And at the moment, I don't have a trade. That's it. 2 trades for me today on NASDAQ. 2 trades. So we sold at the top edge here for the measure, which was exactly right, almost to the tick. And then we bought in here into that little buy side block, which is what we call a commercial buy area, commercial buy zone. Why was it a commercial buy zone? Because it had an imbalance here and it had a takeout of a high price there. That is a commercial buy zone. You would mark that price on your screens as a commercial buy zone, and you would get ready to buy into that. So when you get the commercial buy zone, you get the big increase in volumes. It's time to get busy, right? And what did we tell you when you got that? You started to do measured moves. Against what? Against what? Against the measured move, against the bracket. When did we say the bracket low would normally come in? I told you 1442 is when the bracket low or the bracket high normally comes in. What time did the bracket low come in? 1442. Does everybody see it? We told you this yesterday. The bracket low comes in at 1442. It comes in at 1442 a lot of the time. And obviously, the way we verify whether it's the 1442 low price is because of the increase in volume at 1442. If I see a big increase in volume at 1442, I know that that's going to be the initial balance low. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the initial balance low, which is going to turn out to be the day low, or whether it's going to be the initial balance low, which turns out to be the breakdown price for the sell trade. I don't know that at this stage. But when it goes above here and then it taps this area, do you not think that at this point here that this is day session low? Is that not something that's crossing your mind, that that's now day session low right there? If it's not, I don't know why it's not. Really, I don't know why it wouldn't be, because we know that this is either the day session high here, and this is the day session low with a high probability. Well, we've already verified that we don't think it's day session high because we've already broken the bloody thing here. So when we know that that's broken the day session high, we're now bullish the market in terms of our bias. If we're bullish the market in terms of a technical bias, I want to buy dips for the rest of the day session, the New York morning session up to 4:15 London. I want to buy this up to 4:15 London. I want to try and be long, and that's assuming value is bullish, which it is. I want to try and be long this session now. I want to try and be long as much as possible. But I'm not going to buy just because I've got a pullback. I'm going to buy if I've got buy side value. I'm going to buy if I have a maximum pain that's bullish, of course. That's why I'm going to buy it. But this is just almost straight out of the classroom, isn't it? A measured move based on a structure high, structure low break, measured move sell, a pullback buy into a commercial buy zone, and a measured move exit price. That's it. Two incredibly easy structure trades to just have on your screens. Two incredibly easy ones just to be visibly put on your screens. It's that good, guys. It is that good. Now, one of the things that you might have noticed is, let me just grab this for a second. I haven't seen anybody mention it. Let's see if anybody can figure this bad boy out. It's a trade I've taken that's currently up $1,000 on a 5 lot. Can anybody guess what it is? I'll give you a massive clue. We told you what the trade was going to be before it happened, so you were able to join me, and obviously nobody did. There's a surprise. Reeve gets ready with the bug-eyed monster to show us what we should be doing. And there's the trade. You might be able to see it for yourself. We tweeted out at 2:28 today. We tweeted out at 2:28 that I had exited my bond short positions and I was now on bid watch at 2:28. So I've entered the bid watch condition at 2:28. I'm now looking for that belly fall to bid into. I've moved into a bid watch at that stage, 2:28. Remember, 2:28 is the time when I sent it out. 2:28 is right there on my charts, right? So I am now on bid watch. So I'm watching that belly flattener coming in. I'm looking for that belly flattener starting to show up, and I'm getting ready to bid this bad boy into the bottom edges. Now, if you bid it early in here, fair diddles. If you bid it late in here, fair diddles. We're starting on a $1,560 profit on 5 contracts in Ninja Trader, and it's all following a live tweet, following a tweet, not hindsight information, but following a live tweet. It's amazing how much money you can make if you just follow them, isn't it? Fortunes, thousands and thousands of dollars every day, just by understanding what we're saying, by then taking advantage of this information and then acting on it. And you can see simple stuff acted out on the right-hand side. $1,500 in profit on a 5 lot just now, trading 133 evens. That is a brilliant bit of business, if I do say so myself. Stefan, yeah, Nvidia was yesterday's news, not today's news. Nvidia was yesterday's. So today it's about the impact that Nvidia has on the sector. Yesterday it was all about Nvidia. Yesterday was entirely 100% about Nvidia. Today it's about this: what impact did Nvidia have on the sector today? So we're using the sector, not Nvidia.